If you clicked on this video, you probably want to know two things. Number one, how I got this income, and number two, how you can build this income for yourself as quickly as possible. And that is exactly what I'm going to deliver in this video for you guys. First and foremost, I want to start off by saying I have spent so much time watching every well-known personal finance YouTuber out there. Dave Ramsey, Graham Stephan, The Money Guy Show, list goes on. It got to a point where I realized the concept of living on less than you make, you can only do so much with that. If you want options, independence, freedom, and the ability to enjoy more things in life, you have to have an income that allows that. I realized that very early on, and that obviously the difficult part was, how do you get a $200,000+ income? I think that income level, it really opens you up to most things that you could want or need in life, at least from my experience, being at this income level. I'll talk more about that a little bit later, but let's jump into it. Guys, I started out at McDonald's making $7.25 an hour. I did that for about a year and a half. I was mostly a cashier, and I operated the drive-thru. After that, I bumped up to $9 an hour working at this theme park called the U.S. National Whitewater Center here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Honestly, that was the worst job because it was sitting out in 100-degree heat for $9 an hour. I would have rather been at McDonald's, looking back at that, honestly. Then it got to a point where I realized I either need to have some sort of side hustle or my own business, or join a company where there is serious career growth. And I did both. So I'll talk more about the side hustles in a second, if you will. As of right now, I do have a YouTube channel where I do like POV drives of sports cars and review them. And in the last month, that's generated, I think, right around $4,000. So that's part of this $240K income that I'm telling you about. But the biggest bulk of this, just to give it to you straight away, is my 9-to-5 job. And the best part about it is it's sales. The actual term is recruiting. I'm responsible for recruiting financial advisors to the financial firm that I work at. My job is to recruit $550 million in assets per year, and I take commission on the amount of assets that are brought over to the firm. It is a stressful job, yes, but I would rather endure stress now so that when I'm 30, I can have $1 million net worth and not have to endure stress for the rest of my life. Right? I think that is a very important concept to understand, guys. So life is going to be stressful, no matter what route you take. Why not endure the stress starting right now so that, oh, that is a beautiful Aston Martin Vantage, oh my gosh. Start now so that in the future, 5-10 years down the line, you now have freedom, independence, and options. And I think life is a lot more easy to endure when you see a very clear path to obtaining that freedom and independence and option to sort of like retire, if you will. As a heads up, I started off as an intern at this company doing Excel work. By the way, I got a lot of rejections through my application process. If I were to I could make an entire video about how to like get into a company, but best advice is just apply to as many places as possible, but don't be one of those people that just submits an application. Find a way to get on the phone and speak with someone who is in a position of power, such as asking like someone just higher up in the company, whether it's a manager, whether it's a vice president, whatever it is, at a company to just, hey, I would love, I'm young. I would love to pick your brain on how to be successful or learn a little bit more about what you do. People will usually say yes if you reach out to them individually and ask a question like that. So that again, I can make a whole video of how to actually just get your foot in the door, but you need to get your foot in the door of a company that actually has clear growth. There's so many companies you can get into where you will be stuck in the position that you're in. And that's why you have all these videos about like quiet quitting or not really working that hard, doing the bare minimum, and you'll never get promoted ever. So I was able to get promoted in 6 months from a business development associate to the next promotion, and then from the next promotion to the one where I am now, which is an assistant vice president position that pays $200,000 a year and more if I do exceed my goal. The timeline for that, starting at the bare bones, like cold caller, which was my business development associate position. Very tough job, yes, but again, I want to endure the stress now so that in the future, is this traffic light just not working? What in the world? I want to endure stress now so that later I don't have to, and I have like hope in my life. In all honesty, guys, if you didn't go to college, then I can proudly say that sales, the career path I'm in, I didn't need to. I did go to college, but in sales, you don't need to have college experience to make a ton of money. And also I do, can I go? I think I can go. Okay. Sorry, lost my train of thought. But as I was saying, you don't have to go to college to get a sales position. And there are certain career fields that you could get into that will pay hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. Software engineering, doctor, lawyer, whatever. And even as a software engineer, you don't need college experience. A lot of companies just want to see what you've done, what you've accomplished, that you can be successful as a software engineer, or whatever path you take. Again, I would say sales is the easiest, lowest barrier to entry, as long as you just learn how to sell. And I have a lot of anxiety, guys. I'm a lot more of an introvert than I am someone that likes talking to people. So I know that if I can do it, anyone can do it. It's just how bad do you want it? I wanted it really bad. And so that's why I was willing to put in the work. I asked the questions, right? How much can I make in these future promotions and how fast can I get there? And once I had that roadmap, I did what I needed to do to get the promotions. I got the promotions, and I got the pay that I was told I was going to get. So that all happened between the ages of 23 to 24. I went from 60K a year to 200K a year. And again, there's certain career paths you can't do that, but sales is a career path where that is actually possible. So that is sort of my roadmap to how I got to a 9-to-5 job making 200K a year, and then also obviously my YouTube income as well, adding another like 30,000-40,000 a year. I also had a consulting business in the past on this website called Fiverr. That was around like a 30-40K a year side hustle, but I stopped that because my time is better invested into this job and YouTube, and I don't want to overwhelm myself with the amount of work I'm doing. But okay, let me help apply this to you and to your life. So if you want to increase your income, there are 2 paths that you can pursue. Number one is that like 9-to-5 sort of lifestyle, working for somebody else. And the other path is what starts as a side hustle but may eventually turn into a business. And if you can break that down, the side hustle piece, into 2 different sections. The make money now and the delayed gratification. Make money now, you could look at that as like Postmates, which I did in the past as well, just as some sort of side hustle on top of my job. That's like more of the guaranteed income, right? You do a ride, you do an Uber, like you make some money. But you have something else like posting a gig on Fiverr, starting a YouTube channel, starting a lawn care business, fill in the blank, whatever that thing is. And it may not be a lot of money now, but it's a reason to wake up in the morning because there is hope for the future. Because a year, 2 years, 3 years down the line, this thing could turn into something that's making $5, $10, $15, $20,000 a month. I love to have that always in my life, because if I get upset at my current job, if I get fired, if anything happens, I know I have this other thing that I can fall back on or be hopeful for in the future. So no matter where you are in your life right now, you need to look at both things. Number one, your main career, your 9-to-5 job. Are you at McDonald's like I was? If so, what does your future look like? Do you have a clearly laid out path for that? Because from my knowledge working at McDonald's, you could become a manager and make $80,000 a year if it's a good store. Are you happy with that? Is that your peak in life? That's okay if it is. Whatever you define your peak in life. Again, I think I wouldn't put a peak on yourself. I would always aim for more and for higher, and for an income that allows you to achieve freedom in a couple of years rather than a couple of decades. And $80K a year in this economy, it will likely take a couple of decades to achieve freedom off of that income. So I look way, way beyond that. But you want to assess your current career path or your current 9-to-5 job and ask yourself, is the company that I'm with right now, or the position or the field, whatever, that I'm in right now, does this have the potential to turn into an income that I envision producing financial freedom very quickly? If the answer is no, then you have to change that. You have to. It's uncomfortable, but there is no growth in terms of income without enduring some uncomfortability, if you will, early on. I'm starting another business right now that requires me to know a little bit of coding. I don't know anything about coding, but I'm learning this stuff because I have to, because I have goals for my income. And I went through the same thing in sales. I went through the same thing with YouTube. I went through the same thing with my Fiverr business. So position yourself, if you are not already with a company or in a field within the company that you're at that allows for reaching a certain income in a certain amount of time that makes you happy and feels in control, and that you are willing to work very hard for, don't quiet quit. If you're gonna, then just put all of your energy to this side, the side hustle, the business, the something that can turn into a large amount of income. And let's transition over to the second piece. How do you build a side hustle or a business that turns into a livable income or something that can scale? Well, from my experience on the Fiverr business, on the YouTube channel, and I've had several different YouTube channels that have all been monetized. This one I'm just focused on helping you guys. I'm not the most successful 25-year-old, but I want to speak from a position of like, okay, I know I am successful, and I want to help other people because I have friends in my life that just don't know what to do or where to start. And hopefully like they might stumble across this channel or I speak to somebody that could use this and it will help you. So on the side hustle side, like with YouTube and Fiverr, or again, whatever you do, a lawn care business, whatever it is, and please comment if you want to ask questions, if you need help, but imitate what is already successful. My YouTube channel is just, like I said, POV reviews of sports cars. There have already been people, and there are people that do the exact same thing. So when I started, I had people be like telling me like, oh, like that's already, you can't do that. It's already been done. No, the fact that it's already been done means it already is proven to be successful. So I know I'm not wasting my time. I'm doing something that has proof of success. I think it's a great idea to do something that has proof of success. And then when it comes to the strategy of the business, like for lawn care, how do you market lawn care? With YouTube, marketing is all like thumbnails, titles, content, etc. Why not just do what already works? Obviously, you don't want to completely copy anybody, but you do want to follow in similar footsteps, but with your own spin, your own twist, in terms of what differentiates you from whatever content you're following in the footsteps of, or whatever business you're following in the footsteps of. And that way, you're able to work at this thing with confidence. You know, you're not waking up and working for something that you don't even know if it'll ever succeed. Am I wasting my time? I don't know. I was able to wake up and work on Fiverr and work on YouTube knowing for a fact that I can, if somebody asks me, you're an idiot, how do you know this is going to be successful? I can show them 3 examples of other people who have been successful doing the exact same thing, using a similar strategy. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So, to kind of just wrap this up for you, how have I created this income? I created this income from positioning myself at a company in a certain career path that I knew based on evidence of other people. For example, looking at their LinkedIn profile and seeing their progression. Promoted in 4 months, promoted in 5 months, promoted again, and now they're making $200,000-300K a year. If they did it, I can do it too. I can do it too. But the question is, do I want to do it too? If I don't, I won't succeed. If I do and I mean it, I will succeed. I took that path and I did it. Same thing with building something on the side. Choose something where there is proof of success, especially if it's your first venture, because you don't want to start something and try to reinvent the wheel when you've never even done anything on the side before. That's not going to go well. It's going to be very hard to wake up motivated to work on it because you're going to keep having that self-doubt. And you will endure self-doubt even if you're following a more proven path. But again, at least you have evidence of it being successful. So imitate what works, but have your own unique twist on it that you, using common sense, can say that it is better than what the other person did. And then be consistent. And the only way to be consistent is by knowing why you're doing it. What are you working for? I want to own a lake house. I want to own a couple of Ferraris. I want to be able to buy my brother a supercar. I want to be able to buy my nephew a car. I want to be able to give people things, right? These are all deep reasons within me for why I'm doing what I'm doing. Otherwise, if I don't have those deep reasons, I'm not going to do what I'm doing. So number one is to really just define a motivation for yourself. Why are you doing what you're doing? And if it's not important to you, you're not going to put in the work. You're not going to do it. Once you have that, then follow those steps. Find a proven path. Career-wise, you can look at people's LinkedIn and see their trajectory. Side hustle-wise, you can look at other people's businesses and see the timeline, like even on a YouTube channel. Oldest video, see when they started, how fast did they do it, how did they do it, how did their thumbnails evolve, how did their titles evolve, how did their topics evolve. And again, you can apply that to any business at all, like Fiverr, lawn care, whatever. So I'll stop there. Hopefully this was helpful. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments. And many more videos to come. Again, the goal for this channel is to help you all produce an income that gives you freedom and options. It's going to be stressful, but I want you to have hope because in this economy, things are tough and there's so many distractions in life. You have to get focused. Appreciate you guys for watching and I'll see you very, very soon in the next video. Peace out.